Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be, what were the advantages they had? Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So I'm referring to the narcissist. What were the advantages that they had when they entered the relationship with you? Well, I'll tell you right now, the advantages were many for the narcissist. Many. These advantages were almost insurmountable. So number one is, they most likely entered the relationship with you under false pretenses. In other words, they aligned themselves with you and they got close to you and they made you put your guard down, and they made you, or had you, not trust your instincts or intuition and ignore many red flags. In other words, they were testing the relationship from the minute they met you up until the ending of the relationship, which I'll get into later. But the point being, the advantages the narcissist had is, number one, they knew that they could manipulate you. They knew who you were even when you did not know who you were. In other words, perhaps you were a people pleaser, an empath, a yes person. Perhaps you were naive. Maybe you didn't have boundaries. Maybe you wanted to fall in love, create a family, move in together, start a business, loan another individual money in good faith, etc. All of these things and many more are some of the reasons why you entered the narcissistic relationship. But bear in mind, another advantage that the narcissist had over you is you weren't taught this in school. You had no idea what narcissism was, but more importantly, you did not know that it would affect you for a period of time, which was from the minute you met the narcissist until up and including probably right now, because you're getting the wisdom on my channel. You see, the message for this video is to let you know that in the very beginning of the relationship and throughout the body of the relationship, which the length of it was the devaluation stage, when you don't know what's going on. You're in the narcissistic fog and you're spinning around and around and around. You don't know what's up or down, left or right. The point is, throughout the body of that relationship, what happened is, this was advantage narcissist, because they knew where they placed you. Example, go back to the beginning of the relationship when you perhaps told them you loved them. Okay, well, you professed those words. Why? Because you actually did fall in love with them. The truth is, the narcissist cannot fall in love with you or with anybody. They can't love. They have no empathy. What they do is they mimic back to you what you wanted to see. And having said that, remember, when the narcissist first met you, they were taking mental notes about you. What made you tick, what your social circle was, your job, your dreams, your hopes, your aspirations, what hobbies you liked, if you were close to certain family members, if you weren't close to other family members, if you wanted to relocate, if you wanted to create a business, if you wanted to have children, if you wanted to do virtually anything, because you most likely poured your heart out like an open book and you shared a lot of information with the narcissist. Now, the narcissist was taking mental notes because they have a memory like a steel trap in the beginning of the relationship. Keep in mind, throughout the rest of the relationship, post-love bomb / euphoric stage, the narcissist conveniently forgets or remembers whatever they want to. They can remember anything from 5-10 years ago that did or did not happen, and they can paint the picture or the narrative however they want to, or they can conveniently forget something. Example, oh, I was supposed to pick you up at 5 today. I didn't realize that. This is exactly what they do. They always want to keep you in the push-pull. They want to keep you buckled in on that roller coaster of emotions, spinning around, up and down, in and out, backwards, never knowing what to expect from them. That is why these relationships are so toxic and so challenging and so debilitating, because you don't know and or didn't know what you were up against. You couldn't wrap your head around it, that an individual who claimed they loved you actually wanted to take you down and they wanted to destroy you. Yes, I do mean that. Now, the narcissist knew exactly that they had the advantage in the beginning of the relationship. And I'll tell you why. Because if you had already gone through the narcissistic abusive cycle, or if you had the wisdom, or if you had boundaries, well, I can assure you the narcissist would not have continued on into that relationship with you. Maybe they would have toyed with you a little bit here and there and seen if they could have gotten into the inner workings of you. But if they couldn't, remember, the narcissist is lazy. They're a coward and a bully. They don't want to do work. That is exactly why they fake things in the beginning of the relationship, to get you to fall in love with them. But if they couldn't get in close to because you were too wise, or you have boundaries and you've already gone through the cycle, then they said, well, that's not worth it. There are so many more people on the planet that don't have the education, that don't have the wisdom or the experience. I can manipulate those people much easier. And bear in mind, the narcissist did not love you. They only cared about what you provided for them. Again, social circle, status, empathy, love, time, money, beach houses, vacations, events, whatever it was, cars, whatever you provided for them. That's what they wanted. Many times people don't understand until it's too late that the narcissist really wants your money and your time and your energy. And they want to keep you stuck in that cesspool, the low vibrational state where they exist. They want you down in that quagmire with them. And they want to exchange their energy and dump it into yours, which is toxic and negative energy. And they want to take your beautiful bright light and they want to switch places with you. And that is exactly what they do when they can throughout the body of the relationship. And even post-relationship, if they try to hoover you and you accept a hoover, believe me when I tell you, you may get a little rush of dopamine or whatever sensation that is. And then shortly after, the narcissist ghosts you again or discards you again or tells you some negative things. In other words, verbal abuse. Then you're going to be paying the price for that tiny little encounter, i.e. the hoover. Don't accept a hoover. You are playing with fire if you accept a hoover, if you have the wisdom. If you don't have the wisdom, I understand. You're getting the wisdom, you're applying it from my channel, and you're understanding that, first of all, what is a hoover? A hoover is when the narcissist is trying to draw you back into the relationship. B, if you didn't get one, that's a good thing. That means you're staying low and off the narcissist's radar, or perhaps you've healed, or you understand who they are and you want nothing to do with them, and you've gone no contact, blocked them, removed them, and all fly monkeys and the people associated with them. But if you did get hoovered, it means, and you accepted it, it means you're probably still in the trauma bond, or you think you're strong enough when you're not. And believe me, the punishment or the abuse will get ramped up each and every time you go back to that narcissistic abusive relationship. But having said that, the advantages the narcissist had, they also knew that they could play your loved ones and or your social circle or friends against you. This is exactly why many times you could have built up relationships from a lifetime ago, and all of a sudden, or no, slowly, insidiously, you realize that these people that you built up may be immediate family members, coworkers, friends, colleagues, neighbors, people in communities and or organizations, or people in hobbies that you were a part of. These people are slowly removing themselves from you. And you're scratching your head thinking, what's going on here? I didn't do anything. I'm the same person. I just happen to fall in love with this person. Well, notice what's going on there. Well, you fell in love with someone who turned out to be a narcissist, and what they were doing is they were driving wedges between you and anything that mattered to you, because they wanted to isolate you. They wanted you counting on them, which is the narcissist. They wanted you believing that the narcissist was the person that you needed and that what they said went. In other words, that they would take care of you. They would tell you exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, because they didn't want you thinking for yourself. Also, why the narcissist drives wedges between you and individuals that you care and or cared about, it's because they never want more than you, essentially, to get too close to you. They don't want people getting close to you so you can talk to them about the strange and or poor behavior. And then maybe your friend, let's say it's a friend from years ago, your friend went through something like a narcissistic relationship, and you're sharing your experiences while you're still in the relationship with this friend, and then you two put two and two together and you're like, oh my gosh, light bulb moment. I married a narcissist. Oh my gosh, that's what that is. That's why this individual I married didn't want me talking to people. That is one of the reasons. Think about what I'm sharing with you. Another reason is simply because they love to blow up every relationship they encounter. Family members, children, moms, dads, aunts, uncles, anybody, coworkers. They want to drive wedges between these people. That's why so frequently the narcissist, and if you're in a relationship like this, where it has one of these characteristics, pay attention. It's a huge red flag. If somebody's telling you, hey, I'm gonna tell you A, B, and C, but let's keep it a secret. Don't tell anybody. That's a huge red flag. Why do we keep secrets? We shouldn't keep secrets. Secrets are what the narcissist keeps, and that's exactly how they drive wedges between relationships. But getting back on track, the advantages the narcissist had, they had so many. They were way ahead of you in moves. They were watching you tolerate their poor behavior. And if you would stand up for yourself and call them out and say, hey, why are you on one of your smartphones when we go to dinner every time? Then they have you right where they want you. Number one, because they will tell you you're so insecure, or what's the big deal, or everyone's on their phone, or you're such a baby, or you can't live without me, whatever they're gonna say. But number two, they'll go back to being on their smartphone. And there you are, stuck at a fancy restaurant, paying the bill, watching your spouse and or the person you're in love with totally devaluing you right in the middle of the restaurant because they're on their smartphone. And then when the waiter comes over, or waitress, they bat their eyelashes and pay more attention to the waitstaff than you. What they're doing there is they're getting supply right in front of you, but you didn't know it. You couldn't wrap your head around it. You're thinking, why would somebody do this? I don't get it. The behavior, it's so foreign to me. You're right, it is foreign to you until you get the wisdom on my channel and you put 2 and 2 together and you add up that any narcissistic relationship is not a good relationship to be a part of, and they all have an expiration date. And the narcissist knew this. Believe me when I tell you, that's another advantage they had over you. They knew the relationship you were a part of, it was going to implode eventually. Either A, they were going to discard you, B, you were going to end it yourself and they would try to hoover you back perhaps, or C, you would stay stuck in that zombie-like, trance-like state, the narcissistic fog, where you're working for the narcissist. And when you're in that state, what happens? Your health takes a hit. Your finances take a hit. Your social circle gets blown up. You find yourself isolated. You can't function properly. Work is a challenge. Even getting out of bed sometimes is a challenge, and you have an endless to-do list that seems insurmountable. It's getting longer and longer each and every day. And while you're doing all these things, and perhaps putting food on the table, paying the mortgage, raising the kids, planning vacations, paying for them, putting out fires, picking up the narcissist, dropping the narcissist off, all these things, what's the narcissist doing? That's right, they're out gallivanting the globe looking for your replacement. That's another advantage. Think about this. The narcissist knows that they leapfrog from person to person, relationship to relationship. Once the individual, which at one point, butterfly, which at one point was you, when that individual's resources are used up and or expired in the eyes or the pea-brain of the narcissist, that's when they move on to other unsuspecting individuals, or they recycle old sources who haven't gotten the wisdom yet. But that was an advantage for them, because they were watching you deteriorate over time. Slowly, insidiously, your health was taking a hit and all of your resources, but you didn't know what it was. You just chalked it up to, oh, it's just life, that's just what happens. No, it's not. That's called the weight of a narcissistic relationship being placed on your shoulders, and you having to live through a narcissistic relationship, and you giving to a fault, being tested, being pushed to your core. All of these things I'm sharing with you are all advantages narcissists. Every single one of them. How about this one? Another advantage for the narcissist. When they discard you. If they did discard you, first of all, my heart goes out to you. It's one of the most challenging things to ever go through. It really is. But second of all, I will tell you, who would do that? If a person actually cared about you and loved you, would they just pack up and leave like that? Would they actually reveal themselves? In other words, take the mask off their face, unsuperglue it, smash it on the ground, verbally abuse you, tell you all the toxic negative things, show you the blackness of the pupil of their eyes, show you the disdain they had for you from the minute they met you until they discarded you? Think about this. That is why so frequently, post-narcissistic relationship, if you were discarded, it takes people a long time to wrap their head around how an individual could do that. I'll tell you how an individual could do that. Because they're trying to inflict the most damage upon you as possible. And that's why usually they pick key moments in time, holidays, your birthday, when you have children, when you just moved or relocated or stopped or quit a job or started a job, or you had a death in the family. There are so many reasons why. That's usually when they inflict the most damage, not just discarding, but that's when they try to blow up key events. Think about it. When you went on vacation or went on barbecues with the narcissist, did they go swimmingly? No, they didn't. Was the narcissist present with you? Maybe physically here and there, but what were they doing most times? They were taking selfies and walking around and getting your replacement, even if it's for a short period of time. In other words, they were acting single when they were married. They weren't spending time with the kids. They were having other people raise the kids, other families, or you, while they were out prancing around acting like they're single. Think about this. This is what they do. These are all advantages that the narcissist had over you. Every single one of them. And there are so many more. I'm just scratching the surface here, but I'm trying to let you know, when you entered the relationship, you were manipulated from the get-go up until you got the wisdom on my channel, until you had that first light bulb moment and you realized, oh my gosh, everything Andrew speaks about, it resonates with me. Most of these things happen in my relationship. And how does he know all these things? I'll tell you how I know most of these things. Because I went through them. And it's not a fun place to be when you're stuck in that narcissistic fog and you don't know what is up or down. All you know is you have all the love and empathy in the world to give, and an individual is crushing you and squashing you each and every day. And they are laughing in your face. I'm sorry to say it, but they are, because you can't figure them out. You don't know what's going on. That is why, let's say in a month, there are 30 days in a month. That's why you may get 1 or 2 days of normalcy in a relationship. And the other days are manipulation, lies, ghosting, not responding to your texts, not responding to you at all, having you working for the narcissist. Everything becomes depleted on your end. And it is to the betterment of the narcissist, to the detriment of you. That is why these relationships are one-way tickets to Destructionsville. And it is always advantage narcissist until when? Until you get the wisdom and then you apply it and you close the chapter of the book on the narcissist. You go no contact, you block and or remove, delete all flying monkeys and people associated with them, and you begin to heal. Keep this in mind. I'm going to create a video right after this, which is going to be the advantage. This is the advantages that the narcissist had. I'm going to create a video right after this, the advantages that you have, as in right now. I'll drop that later today if I can. If not, I'll do it tomorrow. But the point being, the narcissist had advantages left, right, and center from the beginning of that relationship until you got discarded or you ended it and you got the wisdom, until you found that needle in a haystack, which is my channel. That is when the advantage is all you. That's when the tide turns. Now, is it fun to go through the narcissistic relationship? No, it's not. Is it fun to heal and to put yourself back together post-discard? Absolutely not. Will you experience the dark night of the soul that I did a video on 2 years ago? Possibly. Will you lose many family members and friends, and will you find yourself isolated even more than you anticipated? Most likely. Will you have to do this on your own? In other words, no one's going to come knock on your door. No one's going to check in on you. Will you have to watch videos, perhaps see a therapist who is unfortunately has gone through the narcissistic abusive cycle? Will you have to journal, watch videos, meditate, heal childhood wounds, etc.? All those are yes, yes, yes. Most of them are. The point being, this is your time now. You need to take action. If not now, when? So guys, before I close the video, remember, the narcissist had so many advantages going into the relationship. It was a stacked deck. You were playing chess with an individual when you thought you were in a loving, healthy relationship. You were actually sleeping with the enemy, and this enemy each and every day was trying to figure out how to move chess pieces to get you to enter your demise. That's what they wanted. They sincerely did. But now you're getting the wisdom. Once you get that wisdom, it's checkmate. You win. You can close the chapter on the narcissist and move forward. Guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Stay true, stay blessed. Continue to become awakened and aware and understand you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. Again, the narcissist had advantages all over you and the relationship in the beginning, and they knew it. That's exactly why they seized that relationship with you, because you didn't know the value that you had, and you did not know what you were up against. Now the tide has turned, or it's turning, and you now have every advantage in the world with the wisdom on my channel. Again, I'll drop that video later today or tomorrow. But guys, remember, no matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. God bless you. I love you. You are not alone. And I'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye, you guys.